Hey everyone, it's another Discovery Edition here in the Final Cut, and it's of kaiju proportions. Yes, we are looking at the 4K Ultra HD release of Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Now, if you saw it all, the co-review I did with the blonde in front, aka the bald in front, Katie Glidewell, you know my feelings on it. Please check that out on the YouTube channel here. I'll put a link as well in the description of this video. You should check it out. We had a wonderful conversation about that. But here, we are looking at this 4K Ultra HD release that just dropped last week. So finally getting around to take a look. So enough of me babbling. Let's look at what this release looks like and if there's any interesting extras on it. So let's go. So first off here, I've digging the reflective surface and this look. There's the big guy Kong in front of Godzilla, which is fitting because the story is more about Kong than it is about Godzilla, though Godzilla does do his fair share of destruction in it. So I love this sleeve that they have on here, the pyramid. They're doing that. That's a scene, if you've seen it, in the trailer as well, the battle that these two did in front of the pyramid. So I like that they picked that, and also the reflective surface is a nice touch. And then on the spine, nice black and white text on there, so that'll stand right out on your shelf. And then on the back, we get some wonderful production stills here: Fight Together or Face Extinction. I love that. We've got that in there, as well as the Monarch logo for it being a MonsterVerse film, as well as some other production stills, which they picked some good stills, I think, for that as well. So pretty much standard there. Let's see what's underneath. And underneath is the exact same thing. We get the wonderful black case for the Ultra HD discs that they do. What's interesting is they actually do include here the same instructions that they do on the sleeve, which usually doesn't happen for your Ultra HD experience, and then production stills, credits, and such as well. So not much else has changed. And it's pretty interesting, though, that they added that. And then on the front is the same thing, though it's not as reflective. So yeah, so pretty straightforward as far as the inside goes. Now this is just the 4K in digital code, so of course we only have one disc in here, and we get our handouts as well. Though I do dig this disc. Check this disc out. This disc has screen printed on there a picture of Kong. So yeah, again, probably fitting because the story is more about Kong, the big guy, than it is about Godzilla. Godzilla is more of a supporting role. So that's cool that they've got that here. And then you've got in here as well, this is a wonderful comic, by the way. I may even do a side panel for Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, that's one that needs to be talked about. And then on the back of that as well, you can get pre-registration now and play for free the app game Godzilla X Kong Titan Chasers. So that's interesting. They include that in here. And then, of course, there's your digital code in here, which, hey, they gave you 2 years on this expiration date for the digital code for this. So there you go. So that's cool. Usually it's been about 1 year for the few others that we've reviewed. So the fact that they're giving you 2, yeah, giving you a little extra time probably for this. But this is a kaiju massive film involving lots of monsters. How about, are there monstrous extras? Well, let's take a look, shall we? You're in luck. They actually put quite a bit of extras on this release. And what's even more interesting is they actually have it on the 4K release. Usually when they do the extras, they're doing the Blu-ray and the 4K, and the Blu-ray has the extras. So they actually did the extras here in HD as well, and mad props to them for doing that. Now, so first off, we have GXK, the Day of Reckoning. This is about 6 minutes long. It gives you kind of a little bit of introduction of the concept and what they came up with, and for getting Godzilla and Kong together, and the story and all of that. So yeah, I like that quite a bit. They did discuss, you know, the conflict between the two and the fight as well. And then there's the evolution of the Titans extra. That has 2 chapters to it. One of them is Godzilla Evolved, where they explain the different forms that Godzilla goes through and his motivation. And it's about 5.5 minutes in change there. And also about the same length is Kong's journey, where they talk about where Kong has come from through the movie series and where he's at right now in the film. Very interesting, and both about 5.5 minutes long each, give or take. And then we go to Into the Hollow Earth, where they talk about how they constructed the complete CGI world of Hollow Earth. Though surprisingly, with some of the BTS stuff, you'll be surprised how many sets were actually practical. So mad props for them for building some larger sets. There's Visualizing Hollow Earth, 5 minutes 47 seconds or so, and that gives you a brief talk about what they were coming up with for concepts and colors in that. And then the monsters of Hollow Earth, all the other critters that they feature in here, that's about 5.5 minutes. So on average, most of these specials, until we get to the later ones, are all about 5.5 minutes long. So that's not too bad in, a length here. And then we get into the Battles Royale, where they talk about each of the three major fights that they have in here. Whether it's the Titanic fight when Godzilla and Kong are fighting in the pyramids, or the zero gravity fight. That's very interesting to see how that came together. And the Titans Trash Rio. The very little repetitive footage amongst these three, which was always refreshing to see that they do extra footage in here and they were trying not to repeat themselves. Can't quite say that about the next set of features, The Intrepid Director, Adam Wingard, where we get two chapters there. The one, which is about almost 4 minutes there, about the big kid, where everybody's interviewed about how Adam Wingard approaches the film. And then there's the set tour, which pretty much has all the scenes that were in Big Kid chapter, only it's like the raw footage. So instead of cut up like it was in that first chapter, it's just the raw footage, and they could have just done one. They didn't need two of those. So there is that. There's the imagination department, where they talk about the CGI artists that went into it and how they came up with things. Monster Island base, Portal to Another World. That one is talking about the Monster Island base. These are pretty straightforward. Very interesting, though, to see their concepts from when they draw them and paint the artist boards to when they come to fruition. And then the evolution of Gia, we're Orphan to Warrior, where we cover her story. And I loved that. I loved that part, watching them talk about the actress and the character and where she's come and where she is now. And then Bernie's World, he even gets his own little feature where we talk about him and his paranoia and his character, who's featured much more in this one than he was in Godzilla, versus Kong. So yeah, there you have it. You can see a large amount of extras in this. So it makes it worth it. The fact they're in 4K, they put them all together. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, you're looking at a little over an hour of extra footage, which is more than what we've been getting on some of these releases. If you're looking at this 4K Ultra HD to pick it up, it's $29.99 retail. The Blu-ray is going to be $24.99, and the DVD is $19.99. So thank you very much for listening to me ramble about Godzilla x Kong. If you were a fan of the movie, you may want to pick it up, especially in the 4K. 4K looks so gorgeous. Obviously, they're doing everything in digital now, so of course it's going to look like that. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.